So good morning. Myself Madhuri. So some of the students attended yesterday's session, right? So yesterday is just introduction session. So today we are discussing about the features of Linux. What are the features we have in Linux that we are discussing in our today's class? Okay. So if anyone missed yesterday's session, means in yesterday's class, I just give introduction only, introduction to concepts, what we are discussing here. Okay. And we use shell scripting in Linux operating system. Okay, so if you want to write shell scripting, means we need file, right? So we use VI editor in order to write shell scripting, which is in our Linux. So the commands what I will explain here, the script what I will show here, it works in Unix machine as well as Linux machine. So first I will show how to use Linux machine. So then I will explain about shell scripting commands. Okay, so why Linux? Why people are switching to Linux? Why technologies are coming with Linux operating system? Okay, so why organizations are switching to Linux? So first we'll discuss about the features of Linux. What are the features we have in Linux? So first I'll explain about that. Okay, so one by one, everything I will explain. From basics, I will start as I told you. So first is features of Linux, means advantages. What are the advantages we have in Linux machine? So first is open source. Open source means source code we get along with the operating system. Open source. Source code we get along with the operating system. It means operating system is free to everyone. So no need any license key. No need to purchase any license key. You can download and you can install in your laptops or desktops. Okay. So no need to pay for anyone in order to install Linux operating system. So it is free. That is one advantage. And source code we get along with the operating system with write permission. Source code, Linux source code we get with write permission. So if you want to modify anything in Linux machine, you can modify yourself. If you want to change the command, if you want to create your own commands, if you want to change the complete view of your operating system, whatever changes you want to do, you can do the changes in Linux machine. But for that, you must know C, C++ 100%. If you know C, C++ 100%, you can modify the source code also. Linux source code also, you can modify. Okay, so that feature is there. If you want, you can modify it. It's not compulsory to modify source code. We have that option. Okay, so first advantage is open source. So source code we get along with the operating system. Operating system is free to everyone. We can download and install Linux operating system. That is one advantage. And next one is multitasking. It can perform multiple tasks. Linux machine can perform multiple tasks. Actually, this feature is there in most of the operating system. Multitasking means what? Multiple applications you can run at a time. See, when you are watching some movie, in the same time, if you want to do some work, you can do. If you want to open any applications, you can open. You want to open some Maya software, Adobe Reader, or some other VMware virtual machine you want to open. Again, in Linux itself, again, you want to open another VM. So you can do multiple tasking here. This feature is there in most of the operating system, not only in Linux. Okay, so that feature is there in Linux also. And next one is multi-user. Here, multiple users can log in at a time. In Linux machine, multiple users can log in at a time. Can anyone tell me how many types of operating systems we have? Anyone? Types of operating systems. two types. We have three types of operating systems. We have three types of operating systems. So there are three types of operating systems: single user, single task, single user, multitask, and multi-user, multitask. So these are the types of operating systems we have. List of operating system, if I ask, means you can tell the operating system lists like 95, 98, ME, NT, XP, Vista, Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 9, Windows 10, Windows 11, Windows 12, Windows 16, Unix, Linux, Mac, OS 290, OS 390, different operating systems we have. If I ask the list means you can get the list of operating system, but my question is types of operating systems. So there are three types of operating systems: single user, single task, single user, multitask, and multi-user, multitask. So first operating system is single user, single task. Here, only one user can log in, and that user can perform only one task at a time. The user can perform only one task at a time. If they open any application, in the same time, if they are trying to run any other applications, they cannot do that. So if they want to open another application means first they must close one application, running application, and then only they can open second application. That is single user, single task. Only one user can log in, that user can perform only one task. And next one is single user multitask. Single user multitask means here also, how many users list it is displaying. Still they can log in into one user only, but that user can perform multiple tasks. And example for single user single task is DOS, disk operating system. That is the first operating system we have. So in DOS operating system, only one user can log in, and that user can perform only one task. And second is single user multitask. In single user multitask, only one user can log in. That user can perform multiple tasks, multiple applications they can run at a time. Okay, but only one user can log in at a time. If they want to log in into another user account means first they will log out from one user, then they will log in into another user. Okay, so example for single user multitask is Windows. Example for single user multitask, Windows. In Windows, only one user can log in at a time, but that user can perform multiple tasks. If they want to log in into another user account, first they will log out from one user, then they will log in into another user. The next one is multi-user multitask. Multi-user multitask means here multiple users can log in and every user can perform multiple tasks at a time. At a time, multiple users can log in. 40,000 users can log in at a time, practically also. We don't log in because we get confusion. If you log in multiple users means, but here it is possible. And that users can perform multiple tasks. Example, Linux. I will show how multiple users can log in. I'll show it practically also in coming classes. Okay, today only features I'm giving. And the features, some points I will show in our class also practically. Completely all the points practical means in Linux administration class I will explain. Here some features I will show practically also. Okay, so first one is source code is free. Source code is open, means operating system is open. And second, multiple tasks it can perform and multiple users can log in at a time. Multi-user multitasking. And these all points I will make a note and I will share with you on your Telegram group. As I told you, you'll get the Telegram group for our batch. Okay, so separate group only for our batch students. So there I will share daily notes also. And next one is security. Linux is secure. Linux is, portability. Next point is portability. Means can be installed on all hardware architecture. Linux can be installed on all hardware architecture. We don't require any specific hardware environment. Even Windows also doesn't require any specific hardware environment. So Linux, it doesn't require any specific hardware environment. Okay, so that is also advantage here. It doesn't require any specific hardware environment. See, if you observe AIX server, which we use in IBM machines. If you want to use AIX server means we require specifically IBM architecture only. Then only we can install AIX server. So like that, there are some operating systems which require specific hardware architecture. But Linux can work in all hardware architecture. Even Windows also works in all hardware architecture. Linux, if you have least hardware environment also, if you have 512 MB RAM, 10 GB hard disk also, you can install Linux operating system. So that is also advantage of Linux. Is these 4 points are clear? Open source, multitasking, multi-users and portability. Is these 4 points are clear to everyone? And yesterday I told already, but so many of you missed yesterday's session. So I'm telling again, there will be a Telegram group. So I will add the notes to Telegram group, whatever concepts I'm explaining, theory and practical also. You can go through the notes. And if you have any doubts also, you can message me on the Telegram. Okay, so the Telegram group will be permanent. So anytime after finishing the course also, if you have any doubts, you can message me there. Okay, for doubts. So if these 4 points are clear, can someone respond? You can message me on the chat box also. Then I'm going with the next point. That is scalability. Scalability means same operating system can be installed on normal desktop PC to supercomputer. In Linux, operating system is same from normal desktop PC to supercomputer. Here, operating system is same. We don't have separate operating systems like server operating system, client operating systems. We don't have separate operating system. Same operating system we use for server machines and client machines also. Okay, so whatever you're learning here practically, whatever we are using the commands, same we use in real time also. There is no separate operating systems here. If you observe Windows, there are separate operating system for clients and servers. Client operating systems means what we have? 95, 98, ME, XP, Vista, Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 7, Windows 11. These are the client operating systems. Server operating systems means what? NT 2000, 2003, 2008, 2012, 2016. These are the server operating systems. So in Windows, for clients operating system is different. Server machines operating system is different. Okay, so you must be perfect in both the operating systems. Configurations are different, settings are different to two operating systems. Okay, so what we are using Windows in our laptops, in server machines, we don't use like that. That is different. But coming to Linux machines here, we have same for server machines and client machines. Operating system is same. We use same operating systems for servers and clients. So whatever the practicals we are doing here, whatever the commands you are learning here, same thing we use in real time also. Okay, so that is scalability. Next one is reliability. Reliability means large servers can be successfully being running without a single second of downtime. Simple, no downtime. In Linux, no downtime. 24 by 7. It works 24 by 7. Linux machines works 24 by 7 without downtime. So that is also advantage of Linux machine. Linux machines works without downtime. Okay, if you are installing anything, if you are uninstalling anything, if you are updating anything, no need to restart the computer. Without restarting the computer only, we can update everything in Linux machine. See, generally, example only I'm telling. So if you take Windows machine, something applications if you install, if partition you created, something applications you are updating, even if you are updating your antivirus also, it will ask you to restart your computer. It will ask you to restart your computer. So once you restarted the computer, then only changes will take effect in our computer. Right. So if you observe, if you have the laptop or desktop which where we install Windows machine, it will give you message sometimes. In while you are shutdowning or restarting, you can see that weekly mostly you will get that update. You will get updates are ready to update your machine. So either you must restart or shut down your machine after updating. You'll get that message, right? So after we are restarting, after we are updating, compulsory either we must restart the computer or shut down the computer. Similarly, in organizations also, Windows, who are using Windows machines, Microsoft people will send patches, updates they will send. Every Thursday or Friday, they will send the patches to servers, means updates. So administrators will update that patches. They'll update. Once they updated, they restart the server machine. But before restarting the server, before starting these updates, they will send the mail to all the employees, clients, like 15 minutes downtime, 20 minutes downtime, like that. They'll share, update the information to all the employees on end users. So because once everything is updated, new patches are updated. So compulsory, it will restart the computer. When it is restarted the computer, it will stop all the applications and again we must run all the applications. So for that it will take time. So that is downtime. Another example, sometimes when you are doing online transitions like Google Pay, Phone Pay, when you are doing online transitions, you'll get the message server temporary down because your servers require updates. When it is updating, if you're trying to access your server, you will get the errors. But that problem is not there in client Linux machines. In Linux, no need any restart. No need restart. No need to restart the computer if you are updating something, if you are installing something, whatever you are doing. No need to restart the computer. Without restarting the computer, how to update, how to install, how to create everything practically also I will show, but that will be in Linux administration course, not here. Because here we'll concentrate on basics, only basics of Linux and shell scripting, not complete Linux administration. Okay, so reliability, no downtime, 24 by 7 without restarting the computer, system will work. Abhishek, is this point clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. Any doubts are there for anyone, not only today, for regular classes also I'm telling. If you have any doubt or any point is not clear, you can message me on the chat box. You can ask me directly or you can message me on the chat box. I'll check the chat box frequently. So I will respond. I will explain. If the command, something command I'm showing, if the command is not clear also, you can ask me, I will repeat it. Remember that. Okay, so reliability means no downtime. Next is secure. Linux is secure. There are many reasons why Linux is secure, means there are many reasons. Okay, so first is inbuilt firewalls, means IP tables. In Windows we call firewalls, here we call IP tables. Inbuilt IP tables are there. IP tables are nothing but firewalls. If you want, you can enable, you can disable as per your requirement. In Windows, we call firewalls. Here we call IP tables. Even in Windows machines, we have firewalls option by default. And also SC Linux, Secured Enhanced Linux. IP tables are used to secure networking files. SC Linux is used to secure local files. So in Linux, inbuilt IP tables and SC Linux is there to secure networking files and local files. So this is one reason why Linux is secure. Next point, why Linux is secure means it works with command line interface. Linux works with command line interface. So those who are trying to access your machine without your permission, they cannot access anything until they know commands. So if you want to access Linux machine, means compulsory we must know the commands, but don't think Linux is difficult. It is not any coding language. It is very easy. Linux is easy and interesting also. Don't think it is difficult. Don't think, oh, why again coding? Don't think like that. No coding, nothing here. So Linux is very interesting. Commands also easy only and no need to remember any command. I will give every point notes. Every command I will give notes. Which command is used for which purpose. So you can go through the notes and you can do the practicals. So frequently used commands definitely will remember. If you are doing practice means frequently used commands like creating files, saving file, checking content of the files, frequently used command definitely will remember. So no need to worry about it if you are new to this. So Linux is secure because it works with command line interface. So those who know commands, they only can access Linux machine. So that is one reason. Another reason, Linux is secure because it doesn't support exe files. No next finish, no auto runs. Linux doesn't works with exe files. So Linux machines are secured because no auto runs it supports. So that is also one reason why Linux means. And next reason, it doesn't support direct logins. For every user, password authentication is compulsory. Without password, we cannot log in into user account. Password authentication is compulsory for every user. See, if you observe Windows, in Windows, if you created any user, if you don't generate password to that user, means if you click on that user account, it will allow you to log in into that user account. It will not ask for the password because you don't generate it. But in Linux, for every user, password authentication is compulsory. Once a user is created, you must generate the password compulsory. If you don't generate the password, means it will not allow you to access that user. So password authentication is compulsory for every user. Okay. So Linux is secure because inbuilt IP tables are there as Linux is there. IP tables are used to secure networking files and SE Linux is used to secure local files. Linux is secure because without knowing commands, no one can access our computer. It works with command line interface, so it is secure. Linux is secure because for every user, password authentication is compulsory. Linux is secure because it doesn't support exe files. No next finish, no auto runs. And Linux is secure because we can encrypt a file. We can encrypt a file by assigning password. In Linux, we can encrypt the file by assigning password. Say, for example, you have a file. Now, there is some content in a file. Something data is there. And maybe your office details, personal details, account details, password, something, IP addresses, something is there in that file. Okay, in Linux, once you added content in a file, you can encrypt a file by assigning password. It means after writing the data, you can encrypt the file. Encryption means what? Converting the original data into secure format which no one can understand. So how we encrypt the file means by assigning the password. How to encrypt the file by assigning password, that I will show practically in our coming classes. So in Linux, we can encrypt a file by assigning password. Once a file is encrypted by assigning password, if someone else is trying to check the content of your file, it will show the content in encrypted format, which no one can understand. It will display the content in encrypted format. And if someone is trying to open your file, it will ask for the password. Without password, no one can open your file. Okay, so that is also one reason why Linux is secure. And next point, there is no setup files here. In Linux, if you want to configure something, if you want to install any softwares, whatever it is, no setup files, no next, finish. Without knowing, we don't configure anything in Linux machine. We must configure everything manually. We get configuration files, so we must configure everything manually. So as an administrator, what you configured, your system will accept that only. Without knowing or half knowledge, we cannot configure anything in Linux machine. That is also secured. And once a file is configured, once something server is configured, we can encrypt that server configuration file also. So without your permission, no one can access your server also. Okay, so these are the reasons, few reasons why Linux is secure, the main reasons. I'm repeating security points. Linux is secure because inbuilt IP tables are there and SE Linux is there. IP tables are used to secure networking files. SE Linux is used to secure local files. And Linux is secure because for every user, password authentication is compulsory. Linux is secure because it works with command line interface. Linux is secure because we can encrypt a file by assigning password. Linux is secure, it doesn't support exe files. Linux is secure because everything we get as a configuration file, no setup files. These are the few reasons why Linux is secure. Is these points are clear? Is these points are clear, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Done. And Linux performance wise, Linux is faster comparing to other operating systems. Linux is best because Linux works with two reasons are there. One is Linux works with command line interface. So no need graphics. So black screen with white fonts, no need graphics. Processor task is less here. So performance wise comparing to other operating system, it is faster because command line interface only. Another reason, there is a virtual memory, swap memory in Linux. Swap memory is used to increase the performance of RAM. While installing the operating system in Linux, we also create swap partition. Swap is used to increase the speed of RAM. So that is also one reason why Linux is faster. Okay. And in Linux, there is kernel also. There is a small, it is like small software which is inbuilt in Linux. That is kernel. Kernel is an interface between shell and hardware. See, when we are sending any data, something a plus b, 2 plus 2, 1 plus 1, whatever instructions we are giving to our computer, first shell receives the data, our request. Shell converts the data into zeros and ones. It will not check what data we send. It just converts into zeros and ones for system understanding purpose, and that it transfers to kernel. Kernel is an interface between shell and hardware. Now, what this kernel will do is, before transferring the data to hardware environment, first kernel checks whether the data is supported by hardware or not. Okay, so if something virus is coming, shell converts into zeros and ones and it transfers to kernel. But what kernel will do? We don't require virus. It rejects back. Something exe files are coming. Linux doesn't support exe files, so it rejects back. Some applications are coming which is not supported by hardware. It rejects back. So that is also one reason why Linux is secured, and Linux is free from virus also because of this kernel. Because before transferring any data, first kernel checks the data, then only it transfers the data. So these are the few reasons why Linux means. Okay, so these features I will show practically in further classes. All these points are clear, everyone.
Yes, sir.
Then, so most of the points I will show practically also, but not all the points. All the points practicals means in Linux administration class you will get. Okay, here most of the important points I will show practically here also. Okay, so these are the features we have in Linux. Why people are switching to Linux, why technologies are coming with Linux, and why organizations are moving to switching to Linux means these are few reasons. That is the reason all the technologies, latest technologies are coming with Linux operating system. Okay, so this is about today's session. In tomorrow's class, I will explain about file system hierarchy. It means when we install Linux operating system, what are the folders we get along with the operating system, what we get along with the operating system. That I will explain in tomorrow's session. So that is very important for administrators. And if you remember that directories means folders means, it will be good as an administrator. You can configure everything easily. Abhishek, Linux administration we are planning soon. Morning batch you required or evening batch? Okay, okay. So when we start the new batch, we'll let you know.